Hi everyone. I want to present to you one of the game projects I've been working on. It's called Ball of Light. It's a Metroidvania with some puzzle elements. In it, you play this young, unnamed kid who is dressed as a cat. There's actually a good reason for that, but you don't find out why until the end of the game. So sorry, no spoilers yet. Um, and this kid is a chosen sacrifice. He's taking at the beginning of the game and like a short cinematic to this giant like chasm hole in the ground where he's thrown in with nothing but um, a small, like he's dressed as a cat. These are some color schemes, by the way. I personally prefer the albino one. I think it's the most striking. He's thrown into the hole, and he has this little magical, apparently, gem that is shining, like it sheds light on the immediate environment, and that's pretty much the essence of the game mechanic. It's a lot of platforming and um, discovering this whole new underground world with a lot of what I hope is very interesting secrets. And the problem is you don't see very far, so you need to be very careful in your platforming. A lot of the enemies and game mechanics take into consideration the fact that you don't see very well, but more on that in just a sec. So that's the kid and the world he comes from. Everybody's dressed as a cat. It's a very, very important aspect of their lives. This is the village chief. This is a guard and a monolith, and everything is cat, 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 and you have no idea why. Um, as soon as you're thrown into this underground world, you discover some interesting things. First of all, you meet up with former sacrifices. Apparently, most of the children that were thrown in are still alive down there because aging slows considerably once you're down there. And some of them are NPCs that you'll find and meet during your travels. Some live in groups, and they all provide some sort of information. And these are just some sketches of the kids. Most of the masks here are supposedly made of gourds and stuff like that because the original cat masks and equipment got destroyed during the ages they've been down there. But when and you meet these lovely beings down there as well, these are kids who lost their gem of light. Apparently, every kid that's thrown in as a sacrifice, well, it's a part of a prophecy. They're supposed to defeat this huge darkness, and things are very, very vague in the beginning on purpose. And when a child loses his gem, then he kind of sorts of degrades into these beings, like these broken children, and they become like creatures of darkness. They're not evil essentially, they're just very, very sad, and hopefully they will make the player kind of pity them and want to help them out and things like that. And obviously they have been down there for the longest, so they have even more secrets and more information to give. However, those who traveled the farthest and but got lost uh, were kind of infected by the evil, and this is how they look now. These are huge zombified husks that wander around in the darkness and just looking for something to smash and destroy and devour. And yes, they're disturbing on purpose. Um, and you do meet a cat along the way, but it's not made entirely. Ah, crap. Excuse me. No, no peeking. Um, it's not entirely clear whether this cat is a figment of your imagination, or is it a real actual projection or actual cat. And the enemies, the most interesting game mechanics in the game, for me at least, to plan and make, were the enemies. So because they live in a world of darkness, none of them uses eyesight for hunting. So these creatures are called gulpers, and they hunt using vibrations. These are semi-aquatic. The final form, the oldest form, the mature form, excuse me, is semi-aquatic, kind of like a seal maybe, and they usually submerge themselves in water, and they have these glowing appendages on their head that kind of looks like um, glowing weed that's common down there. And there are subtle differences that the player will learn to to pay attention to. But as soon as you get too close, they burst out of the water, shoot out their huge tongue, ensnare you, and drag you into their mouth and eat you. So, in order to get past these creatures, the gulpers, you need to make sure another creature is walking ahead of you and gets eaten instead of you. And as soon as the gulper gulps that creature, then you have a window of a few seconds to get past them. Next creature and game mechanic would be the sniffers. So the sniffers are rat-like creatures about the size of a large dog. They're very cowardly, and obviously they hunt and navigate using their sense of smell. And when you meet one of them, he'll start following you around, um, and not attack, just keep away from you, but follow you around. And even two are not immediately dangerous. But as soon as you gather three of them, then they'll try to attack you and swarm you and obviously eat you. Um, the only way to get rid of them and make them stop following you is going through water, which kind of like breaks the scent and will allow you to get away from them and either gather the attention of others or just avoid them completely. The third creatures are the third creature type is called gloom. Glooms are kind of vampiric bat-like creatures who hunt by hearing, and as long as the player is making noise, meaning walking, jumping, attacking, stuff like that, the creature knows where you are and will advance towards you, and he's faster than you, so it's only a matter of time until it catches you. In order to get rid of him, you need to sort of keep your distance a bit and then stop moving. And you need to choose the space you do this very well, because if he gets too close, then there'll be a sound effect of heartbeats, which will signify to the player that the gloom can hear the heartbeats of the player. If he gets too close, and then it's usually game over. But if you uh, hid correctly, I mean, stop moving in the right spot, then the gloom will lose interest and wander away in a matter of time. These are critters, spider-like creatures, about the size of a pony horse. Um, they don't like light. Most of the other creatures don't really have eyes, so they don't care. But these creatures don't like light. Um, and their part of the underground realm is covered in webs, and as long as you manage to steer clear of the webs, then the attention you'll get from them is minimal. But as soon as you start destroying things or like, choosing the easy way to progress via the platforms will make it harder combat wise and vice versa. So if you're very, very careful with your platforming, then you'll hardly ever have to fight them. But if you like destroy webs with your light source and jump around and and get entangled, then many of them will come to fight you and try to eat you, of course. And they don't like your light source, so it keeps them away, but you can't use your light source indefinitely, so you need to be careful about how you do it. It's there's a concentration gauge. There'll be a concentration gauge that shrinks as long as you are creating light or the other effects and abilities. Um, this is a sketch for a carnivorous plant boss. In the demo I'll show you in a second, there are some carnivorous plants. There's no art of them here, so I'll just explain. They're attracted to your light, so you need there's like a globe of light around you when you walk around because the gem is always working. Only the attack causes concentration, uh, needs concentration. So when your light is getting too close to them, then they'll know you're there and they try to snap at you and eat you. They look like Super Mario kind of Venus flytraps, I think they're called. So this boss, obviously the color scheme is Joker-like. Uses slime and tentacles, and yeah, and the fact that there are human elements to many of the creatures is again by design. This is an animation test I did for the spiders, the critters. I don't really like it, so I built a 3D model of the spider, and I'll be using that as a basis for the animation. The style of the game should be 2D animation, hand drawn, but I'll use a lot of reference from 3D models and animation that I make, uh, and perhaps even render 3D models in 2D and use them in the game. So that's the spider test, and that's the carnivorous plant that you'll see in the demo. That's the zombie husk. This animation again was made in After Effects, and it's kind of like using a marionette, and I don't really like it. I want them to move more lifelike and in like 3D space, like from side to side as well. So I'll be animating it that way. And now let's go to the demo that you got a glimpse of for a second there. So that's the kid, and again, this is very, very different from what I envisioned it. This is like the attack, and as you can see, I need to move slowly in order to see where I'm going. Oh, okay. So, okay. So as you can see, it's not perfect, but in order to make things easier for me, I put a firefly where it's safe to go. So as you can see, and here we go. So you wander about, but very, very carefully, because you don't know what's coming ahead. These are breakable floors. They return after a few seconds. And that's how the platforming goes. Okay. And that's pretty much it. That's the project. That's pretty much as far as I got with it. And let me know what you think about it. And just so you know, I've been working on some other underdark creatures that will like centipedes and worms and all sorts of interesting flora and fauna. And again, there'll be hints in the background that it's not just like just fantasy and magic and stuff like that. So that's not how it's supposed to work. And as you can see, a lot of bugs. And this one will, okay, hooray. So let me know what you think, and let me know. Thank you.